Alrighty class, hello. So this is your third and what will be a little bit of a shorter video for the week. There's a couple of concepts here that we're going to revisit both this week and next week, but I want to go ahead and start socializing this with you, which means giving you some visibility on this. Also, I know each of you are moving at a different pace, so I want to go ahead and share with you what these notes are, like what they go over, and then we'll revisit them also next week. But I do want to make sure that depending on the pace you're working, that you have these available. So for this video, we're going to just be basically orienting you to this document that has some notes about algebraic expressions. I mentioned this a little bit in the last video. Mathematic models, why we use algebraic models, and then there's a practice problem here for you. And then the other one is simplifying expressions with integer exponents. And so one of the things that we talked about is how to improve your math terminology or your math vocabulary so that you're speaking that language of math, which builds fluency. So here is a list of vocabulary and some steps for simplifying expressions when they use integers. And so the integers get a little bit more complex. And so there's going to be a whole series of steps here. You can see there's 7 that is preceded by the vocabulary and then an example problem. So if you see something like this and you're ready for the notes on that, I just want you to kind of visually know what that looks like. Now I'm obviously typing notes, and so this little mini hill here, or a little upside down V, that means x to the second power. Here, x to the third power. So this isn't a new symbol. It just means that it's x to that power because it's the way to write it out in typed out language, because I wanted you to have the typed notes. Again, another great place for you to look at if you need to see a lot of different examples, because sometimes just seeing multiple examples over and over again helps you figure things out, at least for me. You can use Khan Academy or use your ALEKS online textbook to look at those examples. All right, so first of all, algebraic expressions, that's when you have a mathematical phrase or sentence. So I mentioned this before, and those phrases can have numbers or variables, operations. Really, it can be a mixture of any. But basically, when we're talking about algebraic expressions, we're talking about, for example, 3x plus 5, or any combination of letters, numbers, and symbols, okay? Why do we use variables? You can see here that it's a placeholder, so it's a number that we don't know. And when you get into graphing, for example, those become important. I have an example here of how to have a real-world situation using algebraic expressions or equations. And so if you have the dreaded idea of math problems from your lower elementary years or middle school years, this is what we're talking about when we talk about math models or math problems. And there's an example, and then the reasons we use those models, and a practice problem. So I'm not going to read the notes to you or the practice problem, because we're going to get into this more next week, but I at least wanted to orient you to these notes. And then the other document is the simplifying expressions. Again, I suggest you print these out and cut them out like little flashcards or paper that would be used in the way of a flashcard, or actually make flashcards. Again, just remember that this little upside down V means a to the m power, or to the power, right? So it's the same way that you write an exponent. And you can see here, right? So if you saw it on a sheet of paper where you were writing, it would say x, and then it would have the 3, the little tiny 3 to the top right. So 3 is the exponent and x is the base, and we covered that in one of our last videos. So hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, well, I'm going to save this. What is going to be our quiz question for this assignment? It's going to be about the fact that I've combined these 2 videos together. Instead of making a video 3 and a video 4 for each of these documents, I'm just doing one video that socializes these 2 documents, and that we're going to revisit it next week. So just know that, and that will help you answer the question on the lecture assignment for this week. And I will go ahead and get these uploaded. Thank you.